Walter Highway.
That's the show that you missed, that you could have gone to.
It's true. It's the story of my life. Show I could have missed, but
Well, I was there. You can see me on the video if you look hard enough.
could have gone. Well, see, I did him a favor because nobody wants to see me on video.
Yeah, but you can only tell it's me just by the fact I knew where I was sitting, and it means I've got grey hair and a bald patch.
Oh, so we would have been
Almost matching.
almost matching. I got the gray hair part. Hey, this is Justin with the Technology Rocks crew. Well, half of them anyway, or most of them anyway. Byron is in
75% of us for those without
We
real
have
intelligence.
Paper Byron today, so Ray gets to take out his revenge on Mr. Wallace.
Revenge of the Sith.
Ray is actually here. Oh my goodness, let's mark on the calendar. He has been busy. Has Star Wars kept you busy, Ray? Is that what this is all about?
No, not really. It not as busy as I was kind of hoping it would be.
Oh, really?
But
Did you see it?
I have not.
Neither have I.
But actually, I wanted to go see it this weekend, but my Spurs are going to a Game 7 tonight, so you guys are lucky.
So what?
Even in the
Well, that's going to be
studio.
disappointing then.
So what's their? Oh, you mean are they playing uphill or downhill? They have one more to win and they're done, or they're one more to the, or are they done if they don't
No,
win?
it's
One and done.
But
It's
want to go
uphill.
home.
But it's uphill because they've had to go up to wherever the other
Is
team
this the
live.
finals or is this the pre-finals?
It's
a
the
conference.
It's the finals before the finals.
So confusing.
It's like the semi-final.
It's the Western Conference Finals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's like National League, American League in baseball,
Yeah.
which I understand now.
Has David Robinson made any cameos at the Spurs games
Of
at
course
all?
he does. He lives in San Antonio.
Oh, does he
David
really?
Robinson is-
I didn't realize. I didn't realize he was in San Antonio.
Yeah. Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Monty Ginobili, you name it, they're there.
Does that mean with a name like Duncan that he's actually a player?
There could be only one.
The greatest power forward of all time.
But is that a nickname or is that his real name?
It's probably his real name.
Duncan. Tim
Duncan.
Duncan. Duncan's his last name. Like Duncan McLeod.
So he has two
Dunkin'
two real names.
Dunkin' Donuts?
Dunkin' Donut. Yeah, no.
With the C, not K.
Dung Kings or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Sorry, I know so little about hoopy games.
Hoopy Games.
Well, I mean, it's not like, they have them in England.
Well, I know, but I still know so little about them.
All right.
Is it?
All right. So we got a couple things to cover today. I've had a lot of questions on air, off the air, in person about a couple of these things. Local business shout out. I think Byron said it's either the Three Nails powder coating or the other one, the upholstery shop, actually, I think is going to come on. He used to be an IT guy, actually, so he was actually interested in the show, so we gave him a shout out. I just forgot the name of it. Bad me. Serenity Sips, as usual, I just talked to Ryan this morning about Technology Rocks Live, and we're still kind of working the preliminary with that. I think we're going to try to schedule it around like the home show stuff, because a lot of people will be out and about, and maybe it'd be kind of a cool, tech in. I remember Kevin and I did that one year at the Marriott in the Woodlands, and it was a packed house for home technology and just questions and answers. Yeah, questions and answers and stuff. So I think if we set it up like that, it'll be really fun along with it and just have kind of an open forum discussion. He's working on actually building a stage in the event center. Event center's really coming along great. It's actually a beautiful little place. I'm actually drinking the jet fuel, Justin's jet fuel. It's on the menu. It's actually not on the menu, but if you go in there and ask for Justin's jet fuel, all the staff members will know exactly what you're talking about. So shout out to them. Piggott Music, he's got an event coming up in June, so he'll pack the house again. He's packed the house twice in a row. I think it's June 14th, if I remember correctly, which is a Sunday. They're doing an open mic night, which will be a lot of fun if you like live music. And what's beautiful to watch is him with his students. It's just how he coaches them and kind of and it just brings the performances out of these kids as they're kind of up and coming musicians and young artists, and sometimes some older folks too that come out there and play and all that fun jazz. So that'll be fun too. Moving right into the topic. So what actually got into this topic for me is a couple days ago, I was actually at Serenity. I know, shocker, I seem to be a brand ambassador for this company. And I was talking to a friend of mine named Luis, and we were talking about technology in general and how it's kind of an interesting continental divide. There's some that are genuinely afraid of it, some that have embraced it all in, and then some of them that are just trying to skate the middle, and find that middle ground, and how things like I hate the word AI has crept into real estate.
Augmented intelligence.
Yeah, exactly. Or lack thereof. And so how it's crept in a lot of different industries, and it's actually being used against vendors and being used against real estate agents and being used against people like us and whatnot as a position of authority. And we've already kind of weighed in, beaten the head of the nail off on that, how we all kind of feel on the particular subject of artificial intelligence or lack thereof.
I had a thought about it this morning.
Yeah, please go for it.
And my thought was that, yes, it's been creeping in insidiously as we go along, and then more and more and more things are AI enabled, AI this, AI that. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay, so it's still artificial. I come from the old school, and I believe in real intelligence. But I think that the people that are embracing it haven't got the real intelligence, that they're relying more and more on this artificial, which is taken away from it. And I'll go into something more.
Absolute facts there. Yeah.
In my other topic that I mentioned to you, which was about Google search, but that's something else. So you were going to.
No, so the position I've always taken with artificial, I always take approach where I want to try to understand the demon to figure out if it's a demon or not. And in my opinion, and this is what I stated and it was funny that Luis has a thing called Power Hour at Serenity SIP. So it's a bunch of business owners that get together and they all get to meet each other, meet and greet and make connections and all. So it's fun. It's really cool.
Networking.
Yeah, exactly. That's really cool. And he does it a couple times a week. And what was interesting is as we were talking about this, we started kind of getting a little crowd around what I was saying, just because everybody was just kind of,
oh, look, it's Justin.
Well, no, and that's why I even mentioned, I said, this is why this would be a cool event, because people are afraid to ask questions because they don't want to feel dumb. That's the majority of the audience, even though they shouldn't feel dumb, because they're actually smarter than artificial intelligence. So the way I've described, even at that moment, described AI was that AI is like a bumbling toddler that craps its pants. And I'm sorry if you're eating while listening to this show, but it just is.
Yeah, but that reminds me of something else in the news that represents that image. But
if you look at the pure definition of artificial, the pure definition of artificial is to imitate. It's to imitate the real thing. And if the real thing is fallible, if the real thing makes mistakes, if the real thing screws up, which we all do, right? And
the real thing can learn from its mistakes.
Right.
Artificial
can't
learn unless the real intelligence tells it
plugs
it's
it
wrong,
into a keyboard.
But the real intelligence that's using the artificial intelligence half the time doesn't know that the artificial is wrong, so doesn't tell it it's wrong, so it just gaily goes on its way.
So here's the thing. None of this stuff is autonomous. It's not doing that. The way it learns is by massive amounts of people putting data inside of it. You have to tell it that, no, that's not correct. it's this, and it'll say, oh, yep, you got me, kind of like you've said that, I've seen that, everybody's seen it that's tried to use it, but a lot of people aren't even questioning it. They're just seeing it and treating it like the tablet of stone coming down from the mountain.
And it's not it's not gained through real experience. Real intelligence comes from real experience.
It comes
real
from shocking the living out of yourself.
a living organism. I mean, whether it's us human beings or other creatures, even down to the level of insects, they learn and they adapt.
The stove's hot. Yeah, the stove's hot. So here's that. And what was funny is we got like this little crowd around us while we were having this discussion, and people
All
were
drinking the juice.
right, and people were jumping in on the conversation, stuff like that. And I was like, this is Technology Rocks Live. This is how it would go. It's just, you start talking about a subject, you have a core subject, and then people are going to have questions that have nothing to do with that, and then it kind of skates in and out of it. And this is basically what the whole premise of this show was built off of, was that very thing. It was, we want to be the top gear of technology, is
Kind of
what
an
it is.
oxymoron, though. We're kind of the Luddites of artificial intelligence.
True.
Very
Very true. So here's one question that I thought, and I've been reading on this for about 2 weeks now, and I know you tiptoed into it a few shows ago, in passing. You just made a kind of a side comment on it, and that was about, there is this thing out there called the kill switch, and it is this.
That's a big overall generic term for the bill that was passed, incidentally, by, I believe, the previous administration.
No, so we're gonna get into that, because I've actually looked into all of the gubbins, as you would say, about the ins and outs and why it came to pass. So, but there's a lot of concern about this. There's a lot of BS videos about this on YouTube and Facebook and all this stuff about how they're trying to turn off your stuff and how they're going to do this. And if you don't pay your child support, you can't start your car. I mean, there's all kinds of weird crap about all of these things.
Self-repossessing cars.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. No, there's all kinds of things. So here's what Ray, do you have any thoughts before we jump into that? Have you heard about this?
No, I haven't heard about the kill switch thing, but no, I'm just enjoying this banter between you two. So I'm just gonna sit here and enjoy.
I'm just
it.
hitting the head, dreaming about this.
I'm gonna look it up right now so I can understand.
Jolly
what you guys are
banter.
talking
Okay,
about.
so what the kill switch is it's supposed to keep from impaired driving. Notice I did not say the word intoxicated. I said the word impaired driving from happening. Meaning, if you get in your vehicle and the vehicle measures that you are not fit to drive, you cannot start your vehicle. Is what this is referring to.
That's kind of a very base level, because it can also disable the vehicle whilst you're driving if it decides that you have become impaired.
I am so glad you actually said that, because I want to get to the brass of that, because there's several different variations of smooth cow manure about this subject that and it's kind of what I like to say is people villainize things before they understand them. And there are reasons why people villainize things before they understand them. So let's just jump right into politics for a minute without talking about, because you have to. It's just same thing about our FCC conversation. You have to talk about where it came from. So in 2021, the Biden administration had this on a bill of other things. If you don't understand where this comes from, then I will enlighten you. So the I'm looking up my notes because I want to make sure the FMVSS, Federal Motor Vehicle Safety and Standards. It's a lot like FDA, except they don't want to give you chemicals. They actually want to keep you alive by driving your car. But the FMVSS, so the Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standards. So this means all vehicles that are coming out for the next year. So all
2027 models and onwards.
Great. Yes.
Which
so
means there could be ones that you're buying now.
So all 2027 models have to be tested in 2026 in order to be lawfully sold to a consumer. They have to meet certain safety and requirements to be done. Okay. So this thing was put out in 2021 that he wanted to seek this. They wanted to have this happen by 2024. And so on and so forth.
Technology just wasn't there.
Almost, yes, you're right. Let's agree. We'll agree on that. Yes. So in 2021, we have to go look at the year 2021 for a minute. Okay. If you go back the prior year, the reason why this was even put on the bill, okay, is because alcohol sales increased by 20% in 2020 to 2021.
I wonder why.
Exactly. Day drinking was a thing. Babies were made. Everything was glorious. It was fine. No, I'm just teasing about that. But, well, kind of.
It was that fake COVID thing.
Right. Exactly. So in 2020, in consumer sales, you typically see a fluctuation of 1% to 2% unless there's a huge economic shift. Like, for instance, when we had 4x3 televisions and flat panels came out that were 16:9, it increased 80%. Okay, it was a technology change. Nothing changed in the technology of alcohol. Okay, it's still the same alcohol. It was still the same consumership of alcohol. It's just people didn't have anything better to do, so they bought alcohol, right? They day drank. If you go look at the traffic fatalities, those increased by 8 to 10% between 2020 to 2021. In 2021, the sales growth of alcohol, and I know what you're getting at. You're like, why are we talking about alcohol? And this will all make sense in about 20 seconds, okay? The sales of alcohol only increased by 2%, not the 20, but 2% the next year, okay? But traffic fatalities from alcohol also increased, meaning people were still day drinking and now driving to work. So that's what I'm saying. It's not funny. It's not funny at all. It's just, it's comical if you look at, but that's the same word as funny. The silliness of why this.
Did it correlate it with people who were commuting to work, or did it just correlate?
It just correlated
with the number of accidents. I mean, the number of
not accidents. I'm talking about fatalities. So death involved.
Were those people out of a job and just driving around because
could be looking for a job while drunk? I don't know.
There's a much big. It's all very well throwing statistics and saying, "Oh, alcohol increased."
So
fatalities increased.
This was a line item on a list of about 20 things that were on that, whatever the heck I just said, FMVSS thing.
Yep.
Yeah, that. This was a line item, not even an important line item. You know what also was on that line item? Not next to it, but above it.
Don't remember.
Backup cameras. Backup cameras on vehicles were to be on every vehicle.
I thought they came in a long time before that.
They did as a luxury item, but not as a mandatory. So it was mandatory that reverse cameras were. Now, my Jeep Gladiator, I have a reverse camera, but I could back straight the heck over you, and there's no parking sensor or safety mechanism that's going to stop the vehicle. It was just backup cameras because that's how the law was written. Reverse cameras, backup cameras. It didn't say parking sensors. It didn't say parking assist. It said backup cameras. Okay. Now, immediately when this line item was put out there to be passed, the Republican Party crapped on it. Oh, this is horrible. People are going to, and I'm going to say this right away. I am not for either one of those. I am for common sense. And I look with my eyes, common sense, and then that's how I make my decisions. This is not an advocacy for one or the other. This is fact. Like, this is a fact. Okay, the Republican Party immediately took a crap on the bill because of oh, they're going to stop your vehicle in traffic. They're going to be able to take over this. They're going to immediately fear mongering. Okay. Very similar to the fear mongering that Bernie Sanders did when he was talking about AI just a few months ago when you and I were talking about the video that you sent over to me. Same type of fear mongering, but it had nothing to do with the actual thing. It had everything to do that they wanted to do something and we're just going to poop on it. And a lot of that's going on right now with the opposite party. No, it is.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's the way
it works, and that's why nothing gets done.
Well, that's the way it doesn't work.
So if we can calmly throw that against the wall and just say, okay, this is the way this happened, because this is the way it happened, right? All right, so let's move into this. The Republican Party came out and said, well, what's stopping a police, if you can't start your car after leaving a bar, what's stopping a police officer from pulling you over from DUI? And that's the stupidest statement I've ever seen, because you have to be driving to get a ticket for DUI. So, and that's a fact. That's a statement, a government statement in this bill. And it's like, well, you can get a PI, which is public intoxication or under the influence in public or whatever that. I've never had any of these things, so if I screw it up, my apologies. So that's the thing.
Isn't PI? I thought it was public indecency.
Could be.
I don't know.
So if you're doing that while sitting in your driver's seat,
Whilst
possible you're going to get a ticket.
Yes.
So, but here's the thing on this whole thing is they brought up a stink about it because, well, now the local authorities are going to have the right to do X, Y, and Z while you're doing that, while you're coming across, and, they can write you up for this, and that. And your car now has authority over you and will determine whether you're intoxicated or not. The word wasn't intoxicated.
Right.
They never used the word intoxicated in the bill. Impaired. It means, what does impairment mean, Ian?
It means intoxicated.
No, it means it means you lack the ability.
Well, there's permanent impairment and temporary impairment.
But if I'm sleepy and I'm trying to operate a motor vehicle, would that not be impairment?
Not necessarily.
Just means you're sleepy.
Well, no, I mean, you could be impaired because if I'm sleepy and I'm on the road and I'm weaving off the road.
But what decisions do you have that you can make between being intoxicated and being sleepy? Sleepy, you can
zero control over.
You can be in the right mindset if
Sure.
you're just tired and say, you know what, I need to pull over. As of being intoxicated, you can be like, I think I can make it.
Well, I can drive. Yeah, no, exactly. So here's the thing. The reason why this was even brought to the table is because the amount of fatalities increased, the amount of accidents increased that involved alcohol.
Yeah.
Between 20 to 2021, which is why it was even brought to the table. Guess what? Nothing happened in 2024. Nothing. Nothing happened in 2023. Nothing happened in 2022. In fact, of all things, the situation kind of went to bed.
Yep.
Because why? Alcohol sales decreased. Alcohol consumption decreased. Accidents, fatalities decreased. Not by much, but by a little bit. By about, I think it was 1%, 2%.
It's all relative, though.
Right. It's all relative. So nobody really talked about it. Okay. But here we are, right back to where we're at, coming up on election, all this crazy stuff again. Everybody's obsessed with it right now. So I talk to well, let me just stop for a second. Do you guys have any thoughts of any of those things?
I think it's all, this is conspiracy theory areas, if you like, but I feel that with the uptick in surveillance cameras, like these flock systems, and with...
What is a flock system?
Well,
Educate
we'll cover that in a minute. But,
okay.
With that, if anybody out there knows about flock, they know what I'm talking about. Little black cameras that
see
read your
gasoline
license plate. Fumes
raising from Ray's corner.
So that with the ability to stop you driving your car at any given time, it's like Big Brother watching you. It's all 1984 coming to fruition.
Orson Welles type of stuff. You got anything, Ray, thus far?
Nothing. I'm still studying.
I'm so shocked.
So what?
What do you have to say about that, Ray? Nothing at all.
Okay,
Not
so
at all. You're the
leading
world's
on-
most riveting interview. I just want to say.
No, he's listening. He's
No,
he's
I know.
fine.
He's absorbing. I get it.
He's awake. At least he's awake.
I'm not impaired.
Yeah, he's not impaired.
He's not impaired. He might be intoxicated. I don't know
So I talked to.
because he didn't drive here.
Okay, so we're all on the same page. We all understand what this is. Okay, so I'm going to lay out the facts and fiction of this. Okay, or is it nonfiction?
Friction.
Nonfiction? No, nonfiction is true. That's always confusing when I was growing up.
Fiction is storybook.
Right. Let's get to the facts and fiction. One, we need to analyze why these types of scaremongering videos were created. Well, it's easy. They get paid. They get paid for the clicks. They get paid. I could tell you, Mr. Gray, guess what? Well, guess what I did today?
You clicked.
No, I bred a donkey with a monkey. Would you like to see the video?
No. I tell you what.
But there's 80% of
just
people out there that would just click on it out of
I'm going
curiosity.
to digress while you're talking about clicks and
Right,
algorithms.
right.
My algorithm. I mean, I don't often look at Facebook, but when I do, I end up
When I do.
doom scrolling, as they call it, through
that's
through
right,
reels
yeah,
and just
yep.
flick, and well, the algorithm finally caught up with me, and every single video that came up last night was about ADHD.
Yep.
And I am ADHD. I know it now because I've seen so many videos that tell me.
Are you ADHD? Have you been convinced of ADHD because you Google doc'd yourself?
No, I didn't. I didn't Google it at all. I don't know why it came up. I think
Probably
I
because we say it on every
I probably
show.
mentioned it to somebody in a text, but I now know what supplements to take. I now know why I don't go to bed until 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and then, but you know, there's so many things that came out of all these videos. But why every single video? There wasn't a single Matt Reef video in amongst all of them, which they normally come up, and he's quite
and he's
funny.
brilliant. Yeah, no, and he's brilliant. So here's what I'll say is these people get paid to put these videos out. They get paid by the YouTube
Penny.
or
Yeah.
whatever, you know, to get these videos out. And they're going to say whatever you say. Right here at 6 o'clock, we'll tell you what's
But
on your
this-
dinner plate that's going to kill you. But you
these-
have to wait
these
till
were
6.
like-
I mean, they're going to do that.
These were like not all from the same creator.
No, but
I
they're
was
all
getting-
getting paid the same way.
But I got like lots of different people. Occasionally, the same guy would pop up with different comments about the same thing, but it was just. But it was like I couldn't.
But it's
I
gotta be-
couldn't tear myself away from it.
But you know what, Ian? It's got to be true. It's got to be true because it was on Facebook or it was on YouTube. And I'm telling you, these things. Why am I having this issue here? Oh, that's because his play toy was causing it to roll. All right.
Does that use batteries?
No. So, what I'll say is, you don't even know if half the information you received was on ADHD was true, but it looks so polished and official and perfect that it's convincing,
Yeah.
right? And that's exactly
Well, some of
what-
it's convincing, but I'm fairly cynical.
Well, here's the thing.
And like I said, I'm generally going through looking for Matt Reef and what's that other guy, the British comedian? I've forgotten his name now. But that's the kind of thing that I'm
Graham
just
Norton,
looking.
probably Graham Norton.
Graham Norton's one, but there's
I like
another guy.
between that and Family Feud, I get sucked into Steve Harvey. I get sucked into those
Wish I
videos.
could remember his name.
All right,
He
so
was
short.
he was the guy behind that movie.
So
you
short
remember.
story long, these people are seeing these videos, and it's believable. It's
Yeah.
plausible. It's believable, and they're seeing these videos. All right,
So
so
I said I'm cynical. I take it with a pinch of salt. and,
right, but
and
some
I'm-
people don't.
Well, I know. I mean, but they're the ones that rely, excuse me, on artificial intelligence because they haven't got the real intelligence to see through the potential.
What's fear mongering to get you to vote, and what's not, or whatever. You know what I mean? So let's talk about the brass tacks of the subject. The government's going to shut your car off. The bank's going to shut your car off. The If you don't pay child support, you won't be able to start your car. I mean, I'm telling you, these are all real things that I have seen intelligent people put videos out there on. And I'm like, if I still have to mail a child support check via snail mail, I think I'm good with the government being able to shut my car off at the moment. So I went down the rabbit hole a different way. I talked to a few of my buddies who work in the auto manufacturing side of things. So Ford Motor Company, Chevrolet, Dodge. Some of these guys were custom car guys. They don't really count, but they do watch rules and regulations because they're modifying vehicles. So they have to look at all of them. There's a lot of folks that are a lot of folks that are on edge about this very subject. And here's what all of these folks, and here's the funny thing. Typically when you ask 8 different people about a subject that work in different facets of the industry, they don't agree. Most of them, it's kind of split. They'll go this way or they'll go, this was a unanimous thing, is that unless there is a document from the Federal Motor Vehicle Safety folks that says this must be on the vehicle in order to be sold, there is not a darn thing for you to worry about. There can be a written thing from Congress or the House and Senate and the president or whoever it is, all they want, but unless it gets through the Federal Motor Vehicle Safety people, it's not happening. And the other half of the automotive thing, and Ford Motor Company and General Motors both came out and said this on record, exactly what you said. This technology exists, but it's not ready for prime time, meaning they don't want it to shut your car off when you're in the middle of an intersection and it thinks you're sleepy.
Right.
You know, they don't
Especially
want
if
it.
you're
They don't want your bed massager or hot or cold mechanism to come on in the middle of the night because the app malfunctions.
Can you imagine driving down 6 lanes Katy Freeway or wherever and
it says you're sleeping, it shuts your car off.
Yeah, or you slump down in your seat and it says, I can't see your eyes anymore. Or you put your mirror shades on.
Right.
I mean, people wear shades that look like mirrors.
Right.
Why should you stop having to wear those because it won't let you drive your car? Because it can't see your eyes. I mean, that's just like...
So here's what they're trying to do. They're trying to put the same type of sensor mechanisms that are in the phone that we all have in our pocket, and those don't ever screw up, do they?
No.
Exactly. So my point... They're trying to put that in your vehicle to measure heart rate, all kinds of things to come to the conclusion whether you can start your vehicle or not.
What they should be focusing on is using facial recognition and fingerprints on the start button to biometrically not allow somebody else to start your car, like your phone,
or fire a firearm. Or whatever. Yeah. No.
Yeah, but instead of we can put in a kill switch to stop a valid user using the car, why not have the facial recognition and the fingerprint on the start button that says you're not the owner, you can't drive it?
So the number one cause of traffic fatality in the United States is drunk driving. It's driving under the influence or drugs. One of the two. Notice they don't call it driving while intoxicated anymore. They call it driving DUI, driving under because of the CBD and the weed and all this other stuff that's kind of come into play now. And yes, for all the people that weed doesn't do that, if it makes you sleepy, then it can do that. You can get the same effect while driving on NyQuil. Okay, guess what? NyQuil has alcohol in it. There we go. You know what I mean? So it's just, that's what I'm saying is you have to get past the political stupidity of I'm going to disagree because this administration, or I'm going to agree because it's this. You got to get rid of that. Look at what they're trying to do. So the reason why it was even put into place is because alcohol sales went up, traffic fatalities went up because of they were making a direct line correlation between alcohol, traffic fatalities because of drunk driving. You know what number 2 cause is?
Heart attack.
The number...
Texting.
Do what?
Texting.
Driving while distracted. Very good. Yes. Yep. Texting while driving. And guess what? there for this year, driving while distracted has now surpassed driving under the influence. Now, not in fatality, mind you, but in traffic incidents where somebody is injured alone. Where's our kill switch for that?
It's normally on your phone.
Well, exactly. It's normally end user. Just like the kill switch is, no, I don't need any more. I need some water, please. Or I need coffee. Or I need whatever. It's the same type of kill switch, right? You know, that's what I'm saying. So here's the thing. I am not an advocate for driving intoxicated or getting into a car after loading up at a bar, things like that. I am not advocating for that. I'm not advocating that this thing should not be in place. What I am advocating for is, if you've got what is the population of the United States right now?
300 something million. I don't know.
Yeah, just get it. Doesn't. I don't know. I don't know either. I'm asking. Look it up, Ray. We got your phone out. Look up the. No, because here's what I'm saying. Because if the traffic fatalities are 13,000 out of the 300 billion probably that live in the country, it's like, yeah, that's a. But
Oh, you were pretty close.
was he? What is it?
342.7 million.
Million in the country. And 10,000 of those die because of a traffic fatality involving alcohol or
Are
drugs.
we counting Alaska? Because that would only be 341 million.
So 300.
I'm just kidding. Like the three.
Or
people
Spurs
in
fans? Are we counting Spurs fans?
Don't get me started. I'll walk out of this goddamn room.
No. So what I'm saying though is 10. I think it's up to 13,000 now, or under or where alcohol is involved out of the 341 million. You know, I get it. We saw that 20% increase between 2020 and 2021.
This is just some weird thought that went through my head.
Okay.
How are they going to apply it to Amish people?
What do they mean? They can
Stop
tie their donkey to a log or something.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to anybody, but
Right.
people with other means of transportation.
But do they drink?
Probably.
I don't know. So here's what I would say.
Drunk in charge of horse and car.
When I'm going down the freeway, and I may be wrong, but when I'm going down the freeway, I would bet 10-1 how many people I pass that are not looking at the road because of being on a phone versus how many people are intoxicated that are under impairment, right? So what I'm saying, is it worth the taxpayer dollar? Is it worth and again, I'm going to get flamed because...
No, not from the taxpayer's point of view, but from the government's point of view. If this is a way of controlling,
Right.
then yeah.
If you've lost, and here's what I'll say, this is not making light of somebody that's lost somebody by this horrible thing, or that's had an incident happen where I was rear-ended by a drunk driver going 70 miles an hour, and I was stationary at a stoplight, and it almost ripped through my Shelby. I mean, literally just ripped through me, and I was fine. I mean, I had broken ribs and a couple other things, but I managed to be okay through that. So, but my thought is that going to stop that type of thing from happening?
No.
Is it necessary
It's not.
to have?
No, because that's just as likely to happen from distracted driving.
I mean, is a backup camera with parking sensors going to stop somebody from running over a 3-year-old on a tricycle that's right behind your car?
The problem is that everybody's now glued to their devices.
Right.
And I had this conversation. I was in Starbucks the other day and talking to one of the baristas, and she's got her phone like in her back pocket. And I said, "Do you ever sit on it? Have you not broken it?" And I said, "Why don't they make you put it in a locker when you're at work? Because you're at work. You're not
Right.
being paid to look at your phone. Well, what happens if I get an important phone call?" And I said, "Well, have them out the back and somebody monitor it, check for every so often." But the point is, you're at work. there's a phone in the store, they could call the store and say, can you tell so-and-so that something's, important? But you see everybody, as soon as they think they've got a minute, and Kevin would have hated this.
Oh my God, Kevin would be in a hamster wheel right now.
Yeah, because he would have made us.
He's already in a
He would have
hamster
made us put the phones in lockers, and if you were on the job, if you're looking at Facebook, I mean, he hated Facebook.
Yeah,
and I don't blame him.
No, I remember because Colton and Mike put home entertainment on Facebook, and he just
Went ballistic.
he blew a gasket.
But that's the thing. Why do people have to be glued to their devices? Because that's the way.
It's an opium. It's not an opium. It's an endorphin rush. When you get a like, there's actually a clinical study that when someone gets a like or an emoji or a heart or a reaction, it's an endorphin rush. It's a tick. It's
Because
the same rush as buying something.
But they're not intelligent enough to understand that that's not the same as
Yeah.
real life.
So here's the fact and fiction of all of this.
Well, before you do that,
Please.
let me give you something real quick. The myth, a remote government button. The claim, the bill gives the federal government of law enforcement a remote kill switch to shut off your car whenever you want. The reality, the law does not grant remote control access to the government. It
Right.
dictates an automated onboard safety system managed entirely by the vehicle's internal software.
1,000% facts.
Not an outside operator. No federal agency can log in and shut down your car.
Well, here's the thing, Ray. Can you imagine the liability if the officer fat fingers the button and shuts the wrong car down and sends them off of a highway, sends a family off of a highway?
With 345 million people in the world, and you're going about 75% of them are driving.
You mean
You
in
don't
the
ha-
country?
Yeah, sorry, in the country.
Yeah.
You don't have enough eyes and fingers on a button to detect every single
That's
car.
why it's not true. That's why, again, we're still mailing checks to the IRS and taxes to the IRS. We're still mailing child support checks. We don't even have the infrastructure to digitize that.
By the way, there was nothing in anything that I've been reading since you guys have been having your little chin wag about. Sorry, I just finished The Boys and I just like the content, but the about things like that.
You finished it,
I did
the whole season.
No, I've seen nothing but
the whole
things.
series. Yeah.
So the whole reason this subject came up is because I was asked about it. I was asked about it because somebody saw something on Facebook, and then they saw it on Yahoo, and then now it's in the New York Times. Now it's in this. Now it's in that. Now it's in the, and
Because
it's all about election. It's all about all about fear mongering, and this is what the Democratic Party wants to do, or this is what the Republican Party wants to do, and at the end of the day, the other one's going to shit on one or the other because that's what they do.
Well,
that's how politics
How about
work.
people just not worry about what's going to happen in the future and worry about what's happening now?
Well, here's what I would say. Well, that's a perfect point. That's a perfect example. And here's the other point on that, Ray. If it was coming, these cars would already be tested. Those federal motor vehicle safety standards are public knowledge, so it would already be in a public documentation showing folks what they're doing because it's public.
But it's going to take, and quote me if I'm wrong on this, it's going to take years to even manifest.
It's
that
already
kind of,
taken years.
No, hold on. It's
Yeah,
going to
that's what I'm
take
saying.
years to take to manifest that kind of technology into a car.
Sure.
I mean, and they're
I would say Tesla is probably the closest, just because of all the gadgetry and cameras and all kinds of weirdness.
yeah, but
yeah.
I mean to look at what they're asking for, it's not feasible.
No.
Because you know it's 2026. Cars for 27 and 28 are already like in the books. So it's not like they're going to have to go back and do that stuff.
You're right.
So maybe not until like
But here's the
2030
thing.
and on.
Are they even asking for it?
No.
Exactly. So why the hell are they talking about it?
Why are we talking about it?
Because it's technology relevant. It's some people.
No, true.
It's things that
Because-
people are scared of.
Because
Just like
if you-
artificial intelligence.
If you pay attention to social media, which probably 90% of the planet do, it's all over the Facebook. It's all over the fake book, whatever you want
It
to
is.
call it.
It is.
And probably, I don't know,
And probably now will be more so than
what are the other ones called? X,
Instagram, Twitter,
Yeah.
Facebook.
See, I don't do any of them except Facebook, and I wish I could get off that. But
Just get off it.
yeah, well, I can't.
Ray did.
I did.
Yeah, I know.
And my life was that much better for it. I'm only on Instagram. I'm not even on Twitter. I don't call it.
I don't even know what the
I
hell
thought
Twitter is. Somebody told me something about TikTok, and I was like, "What the heck's a TikTok?" You know, I know nothing about that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, even being a technology guy, because I don't want to. Like, Facebook is obnoxious
Well, you've
enough
got
as
to
it
be,
is.
what do they call them? Gen Z, Gen X, Millennial. I forget which ones are which, but I'm not any of those.
Here's
I'm
who's concerned
I'm
about it.
Post-baby boomer, I think.
Most of the folks that are concerned about it are elderly that see this stuff because all they do is watch news and they look on Facebook to check in on grandkids and stuff like that. They are concerned about it. The general public that doesn't understand technology are concerned about it. It's the same boogeyman of artificial intelligence. It's here's the thing. The technology to not be able to start your car if you're impaired, quote unquote, has existed since the 90s to the 2000s.
Yeah, I mean, those are the people that have to wear.
It's
the
called a
stupid
breathalyzer.
monitor. Not just a breathalyzer, but
They have a straw.
That's connected to. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, it is
Yeah.
a breathalyzer that's connected to your
Well,
car.
When I worked for Fomoco, there were cars that would come in where we would have to install those, and you had to put like this little rubber straw on the front because gross. Put the little rubber straw on it to blow into the car before you could start the car.
Yep.
And there was one time where a guy I think he was chewing either Dentine or Trident gum that had a hint of whatever, and it wouldn't start the car.
Well,
So we had all accused
the
him of
latest
drinking
one
during
on
the day.
the latest one on that front is Monster. You know, your
Energy drink.
energy
That
drink.
I don't drink anymore because I'm
But-
being a good person.
But apparently they can make a breathalyzer read a positive result.
We'll call in
According
Denver.
to Facebook.
Well, in Denver and different, not Denver, but Colorado, and other states that have made marijuana legal, they've had to now change their breathalyzers to make sure people aren't driving while under the influence of marijuana. And they've had to recalibrate them for those purposes because think about it. Marijuana, CBD, all that stuff, it slows your reflexes down. The last thing you need to be doing is driving a vehicle when your reflexes
I know, that's
are
why
impaired.
people should take cocaine because it just makes you all more hyper.
Oh, dude, I'm speed racer, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, come
Just
on,
kidding.
man.
I don't advocate for that. Just kidding.
Sure, he doesn't. Yeah, that's why he's.
Heroin is where it's at. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, we're
Just
gonna get
kidding.
so
again. Just
screwed on this
kidding.
episode.
Just kidding.
yeah.
Behave.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like
I'm gonna
he's raising his hand. No one can see you because you're afraid of doing video.
I'm going to drag this into the next little
Please,
bit.
with a team of mules.
No, the same under the same context of all this vehicle business. It's like, well, some people say, oh, well, I'll just disable it so that whatever. But then people say, well, you won't be able to disable it. Well, presumably you can disable it because you can't have cops driving around in cop cars that are going to stop because the cop's got his eyes wide open because he's chasing somebody, and it's like, I'm impaired because, it's like, okay, pull over. It's like, so it's got to be able to be disabled one way or another.
Yep.
But then people are saying, like me, well, I'm probably not going to buy a new car
Right.
because the two cars I've got between them have got less mileage on than some people have got in a year.
Wasn't it you that were? Sorry to interrupt. But I'm not. But I am.
So-
in the UK, where is it? Wasn't it you that was telling me that petrol-powered cars are going to be outlawed for new sales only?
2030.
Yeah, by
But
2030.
they're already doing it in Norway, I believe Greenland, places. There are countries that have already. You cannot buy brand new petroleum gasoline powered vehicles, and it's coming. A lot of countries are talking about it. One of the things that they have said here is like, well, I'll just keep driving my car until it drives into the ground.
Yeah, that's what Ryan said. He's got several show trucks. He's like, I got a 1993
Right.
Chevrolet truck, and I'm just gonna drive it till the
So
wheels.
then immediately you get these people popping up. You don't know how much truth there is in it. Oh yes, but they're putting so much ethanol into the gasoline now that it's going to destroy all the seals on all these old cars.
They're not wrong,
right? But
as long as you don't. But as long as you, okay,
because of the oil crisis, they are. I believe. I mean, normally you go to the pump and it says may contain up to 10% ethanol. Those you won't see those 10% signs anymore. They're not there anymore because it's now been mandated. I understand that they have to be E15, and they are putting more ethanol in. And
So-
different countries around the world. Do you know what Brazil is up to?
no,
E50. 50.
dear God. So 50%.
But don't we have E85 over here?
Yeah, but that's a different type of fuel. But yes, we do have E85. That's great for race cars, by the way. E85 is
Yeah, but it burns so much faster.
exactly colder too.
Cheaper, but faster.
Creates more horsepower. But you have to increase the size of your fuel lines.
And rebuild the
fuel
engine every
pump.
race. And
Not really rebuild it. So here's the misconception about ethanol and cars. I love we're talking about cars because I know about some of
do
these.
you know
things.
about cars?
I do know about some of these
They
things.
have
I
four
have
wheels and
I,
a steering
I have owned lots and built lots of these things. So if you let fuel sit in a car that's ethanol, yes, you will rot the seals. But if you're consistently burning through the fuel, it's not hurting it as bad as you think.
Does it help if you put PRIG in it?
Only if you okay. So fuel additives.
Well, PRIG is something I bought because I have those. You actually went and bought them for me. Was a couple of tanks of gasoline for my generator, and I still haven't used them. Well, I've used one of them, but it's been sat in my garage for when was that? How many years ago was that? Where you actually drove and found some gasoline for me for my generator.
Right.
So I sat in the garage in a thing, but I put some of that stuff in, and it's supposed to keep it and stop it from doing whatever gasoline does.
Right.
But I'm going to Lake Jackson next week, and I'm going to check when I get down to, I believe it's the Angleton area. There's a big Buc-ee's there.
Why are you going to Lake Jackson?
Never mind. It's a long story.
That's such a terrible place to go.
No, it's a great place.
I was born over there.
Well, it's a great place. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, they have the big Buc-ee's down at Angleton. The last time I was down there, they had ethanol-free gas pumps. Like you could buy E0 gasoline.
Yeah, I think they have that in Katy as well.
So I was going to just check and see if they're still able to sell E0 or whether they've had to shut those down or make them E10 or E5 or something different.
Do you know Buc-ee's is from Lake Jackson?
Yeah. My wife knew the brothers that ran Beaver Ackland.
Right.
It's a fairly small community and everybody knew everybody.
So, no, I didn't know about the gas part. So, no. So, where were you going with the fuel crisis before your ADHD kicked in that you don't have, that you think you have, but you might have, that you don't have?
I don't know. Are we going back to the start of the conversation or just now?
I don't know.
Sorry, I threw him off.
You're the one that drove the cart in that direction. So, where are
Okay,
you
so
going
what they're
with
saying is that what the Facebook pundits are saying is that your old car isn't going to last very long because you're going to be using gasoline that's going to eat everything in it. But won't that apply to the new cars
But that's
as
been
well?
that way for years.
Yeah, but wouldn't it apply to a new car as well?
Yeah, yes, but it's...
So
ethanol has destroyed vehicles. I mean, ethanol has hurt. It caused vehicles to run.
To destroy my? Is it a Coyote engine in my?
Well, you need to drive it more often. But yes,
Yeah.
the longer it sits, then yes. But the thing is, everything is going to deteriorate.
Yeah,
Everything's
I know.
going to.
I got tire rot.
Ethanol is awful for your engine. It's awful. It's always been awful for your cars. But it's
But they're using it to dilute it so that they don't put the prices up so much.
well, and that's what. So DEF is the same thing for diesel engines. They have to pour this new shite called DEF in your engine because it's for your catalytic converter. And so you not only do you have to fill up with gasoline, you have to fill up with DEF as well. So,
Well, anyway, I feel unimpressed by the whole thing. I'm probably not going to buy a new car in the near future.
I would say buy a new car all you want because it's not going to happen. It's not going to be. What I'm saying is there's nothing to be afraid of. This is a stupid topic.
Yeah, but that takes us down another path. I mean, what car would I buy?
Don't know.
Let's have that for another day.
Right. Yeah. So what I'm saying is it's a silly topic
What car
created
would
by
you buy?
politicians to scare people to vote one way or another way when it's just
I don't know that it even comes into it because they're saying it's already happened. They can't change it by voting one way or the other.
but it hasn't happened. Nothing's happened. It's just in place.
But this bill was 2021 is what you said.
Exactly.
So
it is
that
2021.
bill happened.
And we'll be talking about the same crap next year to Ray's point, because Ray's point is if it was already going to happen, the new cars that are going to be 2027 model would already have to have them.
Yeah.
And there's already new 2027 models sitting on the lot somewhere. There is. There always is.
Yeah.
There's always people. You can go to Chevrolet dealership and you probably find in about 2 months you can find a 2027 1500 truck or Avalanche or 2500 or X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean?
Word.
So, yeah. So my thought is I'm going to put it in AI boogeyman territory. Stop worrying about crap you see on Facebook. The reason why people are putting this stuff out on Facebook is so you'll click on it.
And by the
so
way,
you'll touch the link.
follow us on Facebook.
Yeah, by the way, if you're on Facebook, follow something important except for Raymond. Technology Rocks has an Instagram page, by the way, a Facebook page as well. And
And a Twitter page?
and a page of all
I
the
never
things.
got on with Instagram because I think
I actually like it better
Yeah.
in some ways.
Well, it was G that told me to you need an Instagram page because of the cat, the derelict orphan cat that I found and who's now like as big and bouncy as any other cat. And I tried to do that and I just couldn't do it, so I gave up.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, that's, to me, it's boogeyman territory. If you have a vehicle, there's nothing to worry about. Ray just said it the best of all of us. It's just
The thing to worry
the
about,
infrastructure doesn't exist to do what they're talking about. The tinfoil guys are talking about doing. It doesn't exist.
No, but the thing to worry
So-
about now is whether it doesn't matter what level of ethanol it's got in it, what the price is. What matters is that apparently before long we are going to run out of all our reserves, and we're still not getting enough from.
They're at their lowest point at the moment. Is
Around
what-
the world,
what's
not
been
just here.
reporting. Yeah.
All countries have been using their reserves, and it will run out, and then we won't have any. So you won't have to worry about starting your car because you won't have any gasoline in it anyway.
That's true. I paid $4.99.
The diesel was $5.89.
Yeah.
It was, to fill up the van, and then half the pumps were out of diesel. And this was at that little gas station up there. There was only 2 pumps that had diesel. All the other ones had bags on it. So yeah, no, it's getting weird. It's gonna get weirder. It's just, it's. What I would say is try to keep your nose clean. Try to stay on the straight and narrow, and don't get drawn into the duped fear mongering.
Yeah, just do your own research.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, don't listen to these idiots on TV.
Yeah, well, here it is. It's TV, it's Facebook, it's YouTube. So, and if you
Let me
see
rephrase that. Don't listen to all the idiots around whatever it is, social media.
well,
and
it's the
TV.
you see it 4 or 5 different places. You immediately think it must be true. Think about what you just said about ADHD.
Right. And from everything I've seen yesterday, it is true. I'm ADHD.
Right.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I think we've spent about an hour talking about all that.
Yeah, we did.
But it kind of segues into the other thing I said I wanted to talk
What was
about.
the other thing?
the fact that Google has announced changes to Google Search. So it's like Google Search 2.0.
Oh, the Gemini thing?
And the fact that they're now going to rely on you to ask a question, like, and then instead of actually being a search of websites that bring up links, it's going to actually say like a big search box, and you talk to it like you do on, I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of been noticing that.
And so
slowly.
So instead of, like, I like to search and then I like to vet what it's coming up with and decide whether something's going to satisfy my request or my search. It's going to pull stuff from websites and wherever, like AI is doing, and then kind of give you results that it thinks you want to see. And so you're not going to see a website, you're not going to see links, which is probably going to be detrimental to websites, because traffic is not going to be driven to websites, because these AI agents are going to trawl around the web and find what they think is real, might not be. So, but they're going to put it all together and give you sort of a glossy brochure answer, and it's like, I don't know. What's your view on it, Ray?
Well, I mean, I guess it kind of helps in a way, but yeah, I kind of see what you were saying just from when I was looking at, with the whole kill switch thing on here. I mean, it's just, you type in what you want, and then it's just like, oh, do you want more? And then, it's giving you AI, like you said, it didn't give me any websites per se, but just particular, like, I guess just whatever it finds on the internet.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I guess I'm kind of that guy that's in between, because I guess I kind of feel like it can be beneficial, but it can also kind of hurt. So,
But if you're relying on something that isn't intelligent, that doesn't actually have real knowledge, to actually go and trawl through like the traditional Google search results and then pull together things that it thinks maybe answer your question, but then might actually be wrong, and not actually promoting. I mean, to me, Google search or any kind of web search is like to find something specific and a website that you want to know about. But if you put in a search engine that you want to find out about a certain band, for instance, then you can self-edit the results and see that you might see that band has a website, and you can click on it and you can go to it. But if you rely on this new methodology, it's not going to tell you that band's website name. It's just going to say, pull some information from that website and condense it and summarize it and say, oh, this is a small band from Austin, Texas, and, blah, 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 blah. But it's like, well, where's their website? It's not. Apparently that's still going to be available, but a long way down underneath all this summary stuff. And
is there like
stuff.
when you're looking and it says dig deeper or dive deeper with AI?
But is it? But then it may just go away and pull more information from more websites, and that's just going to be necessarily in terms of like a band or a sports team or something else. That's going to be people's opinions. That's not going to be like the source.
Right.
So I don't know. It's just something. Anyway, what I did see, and I've been using this for a while. My default search engine on iPad, PC, whatever, is actually DuckDuckGo.
Right. I was actually going to ask you about that because I've never used it myself. So, is that something like they,
It's like exists at different levels. So if you run Chrome, or if you run Safari, or you run Edge, or whatever, at the top you have a search bar, and usually you can change the default search engine. If you type into that search bar, that's what it uses. And so DuckDuckGo has a search engine that you can make the default search engine. But they also have their own browser. So you can use their browser, which has their own search engine built into it. So there's different ways of using it.
Do you see them going into the way of like using AI like Google and
No, they're actually, I wouldn't say use the word crowing, but they're actually pointing out the fact that since Google made this announcement, their downloads of both their browser search engine product have actually risen exponentially. So
That's good.
So what they're saying is that people out there don't want what Google are forcing down our throat.
Yeah, I wish they would just gonna give us the option to just stick with the old or go to the new, because there are people I just like typing in a search bar looking for if I wanted to look for a particular band or whatever, and like you said, you're like, oh well, here it is, www.theband.com.
If you take it like you do your stuff that you do on eBay, whatever. What do you call it? Movieabilia, or
Yeah.
or cards, or Pokemon cards, or whatever. If you want to look up specific Pokemon card, you don't want some artificial intelligence thing coming up and telling you some kind of history about it that isn't relevant. You want to find websites that are listing it, or you want, that might have a very specific image of it or something like that, rather than it coming up and saying, well, this is a such and such and a such and such. And it's like, and it's not giving you, it's not filling your brain with new information. It's glossing it over and making you less intelligent. That's the way I see it.
So basically just giving you the information you already have.
And I don't see artificial intelligence enabling real intelligence at any level. In fact, it's probably reducing it. It's making people more reliant on it, and they may remember something, and that's what they'll quote when they'll talk about it. But they don't fact check. They don't look at peer reviews. They don't compare that with another website that may be a known website, that like Snopes, that where they fact check things. So
yeah, I see it. I mean, I just wish that like sometimes they just need to leave things alone, or just give you the option.
Yeah, give you the option instead of deciding what you want when But there must be people out there that don't know what they want, so they're the ones that they're going after.
I think if it makes things easier, right? Like there are people who just want things to be nice, clean, simple, and easy. They don't want to have to go through all that.
They've had good initiatives. They've come up. I mean, I like the fact that you can search on an image. You can just pull up an image and crop it to a specific item in the image and stick it into a Google search engine thing, and then it will come up and actually tell you what that item is or where you might be able to buy it. That's great, but you've taken the actions yourself to get to that point, rather than just asking the question or putting it into a different search mechanism that you throw the picture in there and then it comes up with all the big, the summary of this, that, and the other, where you can buy it. It's taking away your learning. Well, it's probably taking away your learning capability, but it's. I mean, even at our age, well, my age, not yours. You're not as old
Yet.
I don't know where the other guy went.
Justin, he left.
Yeah,
That's why it's so quiet in here.
he left us to our own devices.
That's fine.
So we might just have to chatter on about Google Search 2.
Well, I want to know, what your thoughts, because I've thought about switching over to DuckDuckGo just because I never used it. Are they using I mean, it's just what Google used to be, right? But their whole thing is about security, right? Being incognito and not, whatever you
Well,
type
not
it in is going to be
necessarily.
a
No,
lot of privacy.
there's an incognito mode within the DuckDuckGo browser, but generally, that, and I use Brave. I can't remember what Brave uses for search, but anyway, I use Brave and I use DuckDuckGo, and on the PC I use something called LibreWolf, which is a fork of Firefox, but they're all designed to not do tracking. And I like DuckDuckGo because I don't see ads in anything. I mean, it's just got a complete ad blocker built into it, including watching YouTube videos. Because it has, if you go to YouTube on DuckDuckGo browser, pick a video, click on it, it doesn't just open it in the same tab. It opens a new tab, and it is a little player called Duck Player or something that will play that YouTube video, and you never see an ad.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I used to drive me up the wall if you're watching some kind of podcast by somebody, and then in the middle of a sentence, it doesn't justify where it puts ads in. It will just at 35 seconds, boom, here's an ad, and it's like, what was the guy saying? And then when the ad finishes, it just carries on from where he was talking, so it doesn't make sense because you have to go back and watch it again. I can't remember if it replays the ad if you're watching it again, but if you're in the Duck Player thing, you just don't see those. So it's a continuous beginning to end. Watch the video, no ads. Thank you very much.
So you don't even have to pay because, I pay for YouTube Premium because I hate ads.
Right. No, I don't pay for YouTube anything, but I don't watch a huge amount.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not so reliant on watching stuff. I mean, I never used to watch a lot on streaming, but since I renewed my Comcast and they've thrown everything at me, and I've got Disney Plus and Hulu and ESPN and Netflix and Peacock, I don't know that I don't even know I don't think I've logged into Disney Plus or Hulu or Netflix for that matter. I may have used ESPN once by accident.
For your F1.
Yeah, but no, F1's on Apple TV. That's how I ended up with Netflix and Peacock, because I needed Apple TV because they have the sole rights to Formula One. So I looked into it. It's like Apple TV costs X a month. But then when I renewed the Comcast thing, it's like, oh, they do these bundles. So you could get Apple TV, Peacock, and Netflix Basic for probably not much more than the Apple TV was going to be. So I thought, well, might as well. But I still haven't watched anything on Netflix. I maybe watched one or two things on Peacock. But I don't know if I could watch those already before because I'm on Comcast. So I don't know.
Yeah. While we're waiting for Justin to get back, I'm going to ask you: Have you looked at? I think he turned my mic up because I'm starting to sound pretty loud.
You sound good to me.
Are you going to?
I'm the quiet one if you look at the bar chart. I don't get that green line high enough.
Yeah, you got to try. Are you deciding to go watch any of the races in IMAX?
I thought about it, but when I found out that they're not going to be very close and they're going to cost a lot of money, then no. I might, there's just one that I'm not going to go into details, but I think the British one is in IMAX, and obviously, I mean, I went to see the British Grand Prix in England because I lived there for a long time, but I've rubbed shoulders with some of the greats by being there and seeing the racing up front. It's just a place, but they've changed it since I used to go. I mean, the start-finish straight isn't even in the same place anymore. They've moved it all around, and it's not really the same circuit that it used to be. But it's evolved. These things evolve, and I think it's, I don't think it's been anything detrimental. It's just not the same place as it used to be. But if that was in IMAX and it was local, I would go and see it, regardless of the price, actually. But I think when I first found out, the first one that was coming was a month or so ago, and like the price, I looked it up, and the nearest one that they're not showing it in all of them. It's only in select theatres or something. But it was like, well, that's a long way to go to watch a Formula One race, and it's going to cost that much money to watch it. It's like, no, I'll just watch it on my 4K TV. Hello, he's back.
How did you go from Google the how it's taking over the world to the Formula One
You'll
race?
have to listen to the show.
You're gonna have to listen to the show.
Did you say more than 5 words, Ray?
Yes, he did. We've
Yeah.
had a good
I
conversation.
think I said 20.
Did really?
Yeah, it's about 20, maybe
Wow.
more, maybe more.
So anyway, yeah, I would go
Ian
and
and
see.
Ray's Day at the Movies.
I would go and
Don't be
see
jealous.
British Grand Prix in IMAX.
If it was closer.
It depends. If it's not too far away, I don't know what the nearest one was. I think down Katy somewhere.
Probably the Metro, the Marquee.
Marquee.
Yeah. So, yeah.
But the next race is Monaco, and there's no way I would watch that on IMAX. I mean, that's just a snooze fest. It always has been, and it gets worse. They've actually, they changed all the engine rail rules and regulations this year, and it's now 50-50. They call it ICE, which I think is silly, but that's the internal combustion engine. And the electric.
We don't like
the
ice
battery
right here.
power.
Not on this side of the chair.
No. So they've split that, but then the first 2 or 3 races they ran into problems because they obviously harvest electricity from braking, and it just got all messy. They were finding that they were running out of steam by the time they got to the end of a straight because of harvesting and doing all. And there's some strange word they came up with, super clipping. I don't quite understand the technology behind it, but it was all to do with recharging the battery and deploying the battery and the software that learns how the circuit. It's like taking it away from the driver. I mean, if you overrode the software by pressing the overtake button, if you're allowed to use it, it reset the computer, so it didn't understand what it was doing the next lap. But anyway,
Is it the government that's overriding it?
No,
like
well,
a kill switch.
It's the FIA, which is a kind of a governmental body for all of motor racing. So they switched the engine modes after the 3rd Grand Prix to make it more give the driver more control. But what I've just read is that for Monaco they're going to reduce the maximum electrical power availability because Monaco just doesn't have the straights and cannot contain the straight line speed and acceleration that these cars are capable of. So they're going to dumb it down. And there's never been overtaking at Monaco anyway, because
There's
is
too
nowhere
many
to
twisty
overtake.
turny. Yeah.
But the other thing that they're doing, they're not even... Part of the regulation changes this year was they introduced something called active aero, which is where
That's where you flip the wing or whatever. Or you
yeah,
can
Red Bull and
for
Ferrari
downforce.
have wings that kind of rotate 180 degrees, and I think the Ferrari one was called the Macarena, and Red Bull had a similar one, the boomerang type thing.
And speaking of which, you can't even talk about racing without talking about.
So active aero was available. It's available to everybody, but you can only activate it on a straight. So there's an activation zone, and then when you get to the end, it has to shut off when you hit the brake. And it just... So it's taking away the drag effect for everybody who's on the straight, whereas prior to that they had this thing called DRS, drag reduction system, which was just the rear wing that you were able to open, but only if you were within a second of the car in front at a certain point before you got to that straight. So they took that away. They introduced the active aero, which is where the front wing and the rear wing can open up to effectively get rid of drag. But as soon as you hit the brake, that has to close within X milliseconds and immediately give you downforce into the corner. for Monaco, the active aero is not going to be enabled. So they're going to have total drag around the whole circuit because there's nowhere to
You don't really need it.
There's nowhere to get up to the speeds that they're capable of, and they're reducing the engine output. The electrical output down from like 300 and something down to 200. They're not going to be able to implement as much electrical energy because they feel that, if they were able to use the electrical energy and the overtake button and blah blah blah, that by the time they get to the corner they'll be going so fast they wouldn't even get round the corner.
Right.
So Monaco's always been what I call a snooze.
Well, it's rich people to show off in their yachts and Rolex to watch the race. Yeah, it's more of a status thing than.
Well, it's all brand driven. I mean, the latest thing, there's a team called Alpine, which is a French team. They've been sponsored for a long time by a company called BWT. It's the BWT Alpine racing team. Okay, so that's the main sponsor. So depending on the size of the sponsor, if the sponsor puts so much money into it, they get to put their name first. So the team is now going to be known as the Gucci Alpine Racing Team.
I did see something about that. And then my favorite's always been Indy because it seems like it's the faster of the races, Indianapolis track.
Yeah. Oh, the one where they go round and round, they only turn left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that always seems to be like the high speed one.
I didn't see much of it. I saw the end of it where there was a very photo finish.
Photo. There's that freaking word again. Photo.
Photo.
What's wrong with photo?
Nothing. I just love the way you say
What
it.
do you say?
He says it with a D.
I say
Photo.
I say picture.
Oh, photo.
I look at a
Like
picture.
Frodo.
Yeah.
I look at a picture of something.
No, but a photo finish. You've heard of a photo
Yes,
finish?
yeah, I know, where they just
And
it's
so
like
what
a
would
mouse
you call
hairs.
that? A photo finish.
I would just call it a finish.
No. Come on.
He's just being ignorant.
He's being
But
facetious.
you can't talk about the racing world without talking about the Kyle Busch thing, what just happened to him. He tragically passed away at 40 years of age
And not doing...
from a sinus infection of all things,
sepsis,
right?
Well, sepsis from following on from pneumonia, so I don't...
Yeah, well, they were trying to say is the pressures in the simulator or the being in the race beforehand, and then during that race in the last lap, he asked to have a doctor at the ready at the track so he could get a sinus shot or something, and then he was I think he died in the racing simulator. So he was in a racing sim and started coughing up fluid and blood and all the kinds of stuff, and then he was dead.
He didn't really pass away doing what he loved doing.
Well, and thank God he didn't. Otherwise, he would have wrecked it. No, he was training for the Coca-Cola 600.
Oh, okay.
Is what because he had just placed 8th in the race prior to that.
Yeah.
And then left a beautiful wife and kids behind.
Yes,
young kids too. One of them is an up and coming in the junior racing league or whatever.
Apparently, his number has been semi-retired
Until unless his son races NASCAR,
Gavin
then
or somebody.
yeah, if his son races
Yeah.
NASCAR, they'll bring it out of retirement for his kid, which is kind of a cool story. But really, I mean, and he would be to put it that in perspective. He was up there with like an Earnhardt Jr. or an Earnhardt or Elliott or one of those guys. He was way up. He was the modern day generation of that basically, and had a hard go over the past couple of years because of all the rules and regulations that have changed with aerodynamics, and you have to do this and have to do that and have to all that stuff.
You mentioned simulators. He was in a Indy simulator, I presume.
I don't know. I'm not sure. It was one. He was training for, but this is when those guys sit in a simulator. It's not like just sitting in a seat with a steering wheel. These things are
these things
motion
move,
and
yes.
You have pressure.
Yeah.
You have a G-force suit on you, so it's the same G's as what you would feel on a racetrack. So it's very complicated situation. A friend of mine has that downtown in a building called the Asylum, which so it's questionable whether he belongs there or not. He has racing sims there like that, and where he has F1 part. I think I sent you a link to an F1 party he was having at this big giant building in Houston, and he's got all these big screens, and then you can either race in the simulator while the race is going on, and it's all kinds of fun stuff, fun toys going on over there. But with Mr. Pate at the Grid Hi-Fi downtown, so. But he has a car storage place, so he's actually a custom car guy. And when I say custom car guy, the guy can build things out of air. Ray's kind of seen a lot of some of his older buildings. I think you were there doing some camera
they
work.
had some really nice stuff in there,
and
man.
everything you see there is real. It's not like a fake AC Cobra. It is a AC Cobra. It is a 1960s GT500. It is the real stuff that's over there. Ray and I were actually there when he he melted his Puma track pants to the back of his leg getting out of an AC Cobra, a Shelby Cobra. I mean, and it was bad. Like, it was like the whole calf muscle that did it. And it was one of those things where it was just like, well, at least you got a cool story behind it, you know?
Oh, yeah. He's like, how'd you do that? Oh,
At least it wasn't
taking a pizza out of the oven.
At least it wasn't a Cat Factory 5 kit car or something. At least it was like the real the real deal. But he's actually built stuff called the Relic. His new business is called the Relic, where he's building ground up not Broncos, Blazers from the ground up, like frame everything.
Wow.
Like fabricating the frame, fabricating the body. He's done the same thing with a GT, Ford GT, like, yes, GT40. And then he's done the same thing with now Mustang, Corvette, and Camaro, where he's building ground up. I wouldn't even call them restorations. I would say it's like a factory for cars now, and where it's all either Roush engines or Keith Craft engines. And I mean, it's still using manufactured engines and things, but it's like either from someone like Celine or Hennessy or Keith Craft, but it's modern day technology where it's still full blown touchscreens like you would see in a modern vehicle, and fuel injection and all that stuff. So none of it's carbureted, but it's ground up restoration from the frame all the way up to the chassis. So a cool thing. He would be a fun one to have on the show. He's got a personality about like yours, Ray, where he says about 5 words.
No, I met him. I think he has like a couple of more.
He has a couple more words than that. Yeah, no, very colorful words in some cases. The colorful jogging of vocabulary. But yeah.
Does he still have the office that we were?
He has the hi-fi shop, but all the car production places moved down the street, where he owns I want to say it's 100,000 square foot building complex.
So he moved everything.
He moved all the car stuff over to a different complex called the Asylum.
Yeah.
Which, yeah.
I wouldn't mind going looking at his collection again.
Oh, it's cool. Well, what's really neat is the 3D printing machines that he has over there. It's like he can literally print out a fender in carbon fiber. You know, it's just like, it's so cool. Like, he built he's built the Darth Vader helmet out of carbon fiber.
That was the collection I was talking about.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Oh, the sideshow.
The sideshow.
Most of that stuff is gone now. Like, he sold most of that stuff to pay for his machines. And then he still has his life-size Terminator. I have dibs on that. Like, it's like, you get rid of that, you and I aren't friends anymore. So, because it's a life-size Terminator 2 cyborg statue or whatever, and it's.
Couldn't he make you another one?
He could, but this one wouldn't be the life-size one.
It would just be plastic.
It would just be it would just be black and carbon fiber. It wouldn't. Well, actually, that could be equally cool. But yeah, no, he had a life-size Boba Fett. He has a life-size carbonite table, glass with Han Solo and carbonite. I mean, he's got all kinds of whacked out stuff. But collector to its nth degree. with collecting all the things. All right, what else you got, Ian?
Just going back to the simulator thing.
Oh, where he passed away. Yeah.
No,
Just in general.
simulators in general. Latest news from Ferrari is that Lewis Hamilton, who went there, he's now in his second season, and he has actually quit using the Ferrari simulator, and it's improved. He has improved no end. He's finished 4th, 3rd, and 2nd in the last 3 races.
4th, 3rd, and 2nd.
Now 2nd. He finished 2nd at the Canadian Grand Prix, and he said that the simulator was basically screwing. You know, they used the simulator to set the car up for the next race, and he said it was actually going in the opposite direction for him. When they get to the race and actually drive the car on the circuit, it was like nowhere near what he expected it to be. So he stopped using the simulator, and then
Because it wasn't accurate.
and he's done better. But I don't know. I mean, is it questionable? I mean, all the teams rely on these simulators.
The multitasking that goes on when one of those guys is slinging that beast around the track. I got to hit this button. Oh, I'm in the straight. I can hit this button now for turbo boost. I mean, it's just
strap
wild.
modes and front to back braking differentials.
It's like they're basically driving with a PlayStation controller at this point.
Yeah. A $1 million PlayStation controller.
Right. That going 200 plus down the strip.
Talking about Ferrari, what do you think of their new electric vehicle?
I hate it.
Yeah.
It's soulless. It's a soulless piece of
It seems that
stuffing. It's a soulless piece of stuffing.
they hired 2 designers who were supposedly best.
Lamborghini's doing the same thing. They made an electric. They're making an electric Diablo.
Well, one of the
Murcielago.
designers was the guy that designed the iPhone or something.
Right.
Yeah, I can see how that can translate.
And it's like they've come up with a 5-seater.
Maybe it was the stupid Apple car they were trying to build that they moved into. It looks
Probably.
hideous.
Yeah, it does.
By the way,
And it's blue.
it looks like It looks like a smaller Tesla truck. Is what it looks like. It's just horrible.
I mean, I think even when Dodge, went EV and they try to
For like a minute?
recreate. Well, I mean, they produced their the Challenger.
But isn't it already gone now?
I have no idea.
I thought they discoed it.
I don't
You'll
know.
have to look
but when
it up.
they're that's probably a car Byron would like, since they have subs in there that create the noise.
Hey man, can you update my speakers so I can get a louder, throatier sound?
Well, a friend of mine pulled up the other day in a Dodge something or other, and I was looking at it, and it was matte black, and I was like, "Oh, looks okay." I said, "Not my cup of tea." And he said, "It's electric."
I
said,
thought it was
all electric, and he said, "Yeah." And I said, "But I can hear the engine." And he said, "No, that's the speakers." And he said, and he goes into the control panel. I can change it, and he pulls it all up, and it says Hellcat. So he presses Hellcat, and then it starts making even more noise, and it's like,
Yes, the Dodge Challenger Charger, which was a nifty name, by the way, for it,
They made it look like the Challenger.
has been discontinued.
Wow, that lasted about 5 minutes.
That's what I said. That's why I said, for what, 5 minutes?
Probably because they got so much pushback on there, especially with the Mopar guys.
It's not that. Well, you have Stellantis, which is the gaining factor. It's not really Dodge anymore. It's owned by Mercedes, which is owned by a company called Stellantis. So Stellantis is putting all of their R&D in Mercedes, and then the guy who owned it absolutely hated American brands. He hated Jeep, he hated Dodge, he hated all that stuff, and it's like, so it's kind of a weird story on it, but a lot of and then allegedly, I think Stellantis is about to go through the rumor mill, has gone belly up or about to go belly up, so they're having to peel off spirited projects that didn't stick to the wall, which that would have been the one. Ford pulled out of it with the the Lightning, the truck, which should have never been called the Lightning, by the way. So Ford,
They're not making it?
They're pulling out of it. They're pulling away from it. It's not selling. Nobody's buying them. And then Mercedes has moved into hybrid stuff, and then BMW went hard in the paint with that. And then pulled back to hybrid. So now they're only doing hybrid and they're not doing full EV anymore because it's just, again, it's not selling. It's not just, nobody wants to buy $150,000
just to go 20 miles
BMW M, M electric or MEV when you can buy a gas powered one for 110, and it runs for the same 60,000 miles.
It drives me crazy because, if I was going to get an EV, it's just going to be driving around, or maybe going, like if I was going to Galveston or something like that. But yeah, it just doesn't have they just don't have the range.
Well, Porsche was a piece of junk. A client of ours had a high EV Porsche, and it would only go to 120 miles or 200 miles before you had to recharge it. I mean, it was horrible. It was nice on the inside and everything, but it was just, but it was double the cost of what a Tesla was, and the Tesla Plaid would run out of it.
Yeah.
So here's the official announcement. Stellantis is moving out. So that was Mercedes, Dodge, Jeep. Ford Motor Company has now decided to move away from all electric, and then now General Motors has decided, but to a lesser degree. Well, they're also moving away from all electric.
What did they have that was all electric besides
General Motors?
No, Ford, the Mach-E and the Lightning.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah. So they tiptoed in and do it, but the Mach-E wasn't a bad seller for them.
No.
In fact, it didn't look half bad.
I'm probably
either.
like one of 30 people in the world that liked it.
I did too. I thought it looked like a Fox body. I thought it looked like the Fox body Mustang in a way, but just maybe with a 4-door, as a 4-door. But I thought it resembled the old hatchback Mustang, so I thought it was kind of cool. And then if you see them kind of messed with, then they look pretty interesting. And then everybody's moving back to the hybrid style of strategy,
which is probably the best thing to do.
Right, because it charges itself.
It charges itself, and you can get about 600 miles.
Yep, better gas mileage, better fuel economy.
Yep.
Dodge was, this is interesting to me because Dodge was actually supposed to come out with the Ram Charger, which was an all-electric truck as well. And then they now have made it the Ram Charger Hybrid, which is half diesel, half electric, which that's kind of an interesting combo. Although diesel fuel is higher than a giraffe's nether regions and right now, so it may not. Used to, people bought diesel because you could get 300,000 miles out of them.
Well, and diesel used to be the cheaper of the gas.
Right. Well, most of your emergency vehicles were all diesel because you could leave them running for a long period of time and they would run, forever, just stationary, because it was it behaved more like a generator than a motor, just than a car or a vehicle. So
I used to have it was an 80. Oh yeah, I don't even remember. It was a diesel Honda Accord.
Oh really?
Yeah, I think it was like 89, maybe 86.
My friend had a diesel Volkswagen. His name was Aaron, or is Aaron. He's still alive. His name's Aaron. He had a diesel Volkswagen. The problem is the Volkswagen rushed production, sold them in the United States, and Volkswagen had to legally buy his car back. Aaron Blackman is what I'm talking about. Okay. They had to buy his vehicle back. He got a letter in the mail saying, "Hey, we are obligated to buy your vehicle back at full purchased value, or you can keep it, and then we'll convert it to market standard or United Standards of the United States standard for the FMV or whatever, vehicle motor safety, whatever that thing is. We have to convert it over because it was rushed into production, snuck over the border in mass production before it was sanctioned to be able to sell in the United States." And this was, dude, he had 2 payments left before it was paid off. It's like, the reason why, though, is because they were having issues with them because of the ethanol in the diesel and the biofuel stuff in the diesel that was creating issues with them. But that's not what it was. It was they didn't meet the EPA standards for pollution here, that they did overseas, and so Volkswagen had to buy his vehicle back, and so he was torn because he was like, well, crap, I almost paid it off, and so in his case they paid off his vehicle, gave him the value of it, and then he went and bought a Mustang. He went and bought a GT outright. He just walked right in the dealership,
Blue one.
bought a proper sports car, and then kept making babies, and now he doesn't have a Mustang anymore. Yeah, so
We need to get him on the show.
he would be fun to have on the show, 'cause, especially on a movie show, because he loves movies. He's a cinema nut.
Which we got to get back to.
Yeah, we got to get back to that one too.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's it, unless you're done, Ian, or you got something else?
No, I was trying to think. I listened to last week's show where I was unavoidably not present.
He was detained by toiletries.
I was trying to think of all the things that I was going to refute, but I can't remember any of them.
What were you going to
Well,
refute?
one of them was, I think you were talking about the fact that they can't charge subscription services for things in cars.
No, they can't charge. So in the United
So if
States,
something's already installed in the car, they're charge some like BMW.
I mean,
and,
physical thing, not things like SM satellite and stuff like that. That
No.
they can charge. I'm talking about things like seat
heated
heaters,
seats. Yeah.
air conditioned options,
So
things
is
like
that still not a thing? They can't charge
They
you
cannot.
for it? Oh.
They cannot. Tesla got away with it.
Well, I
Shocker.
thought there was one that I was going to bring up, but it's not quite the same thing. Because you would, and it reminded me because you're talking about the Marquis, that because it's a rear-engined electrical engine, it has a front end space cargo availability called
Right.
a frunk. Well, apparently people apparently weren't using that, so the initial reports were that they were going to charge you
What?
to be able to use it,
Yeah.
like
that.
to be able to open it and use it, but that seems to have changed. They actually do not install it now. If you want it, it's another $385. So if
That's
you
the
don't,
dumbest thing I've ever
so if you don't
heard
pay
of.
for it, you don't get it.
Yeah, it's called
It's
a
not there.
sawzall and some hand tools. I'll make my own, God bless it.
Yeah. So that's not quite the same thing
High-tech
as.
redneck that
But
crap
the initial
faster than you can
reports
blink.
when they came out, Ford's going to charge you to be able to open the.
No, so they passed that. So BMW did this in Germany, and they did it in the UK over there.
I thought it was happening here.
No, they shot it down. The Congress.
Kiboshed.
Yeah, no, the FMV. What is this thing? FMVS. It's too long of a name. That's why I can't remember it. FMVSS, whatever. That thing shot it down.
Federal Motor Vehicle
Yes,
Safety.
the government actually shot it down first, and then FMVV just kind of said, no, we're not implementing that. That is called a captive audience, and we're not doing that. If it's installed in your vehicle, then yes.
But
Now,
that's
the
getting-
reason why the Tesla got away from it is because it was a firmware update. It was you can pay for the firmware update that gets you that feature, or you can choose not to get it. But so your car doesn't already have it, but it has the technology to do it because of all the cameras and all the other stuff that happened to it. So yeah.
Yeah, but that's just the way everything's going now. You don't own anything. I mean,
You don't own your property. You don't own your house.
Well, you do.
You're leasing you're leasing the land for the rest of your life until you die. Yeah. Damn, that was a doom and gloom ending.
Yeah,
Wow.
man. Gee, that would go.
Well, apparently, and then
Right in a
like the
corner.
new Nintendo Switch 2 isn't a device you own necessarily. You just own a license to use it.
What?
Yeah. And that's happening with computers.
So they're pulling an Apple TV then. You don't actually own the movie. You just have a
Yeah.
license to use it. Okay, so do you have any other rebuttals that I
No.
can shoot down?
No, because I've forgotten everything else. I listened to it last week and then I forgot all about it. I was going to refresh my memory last night, but
Oh.
no. What I did do this week.
So
I
you're
actually-
the reason why we had an uptick in listeners.
No, I bet you lost.
Who, him?
Yeah.
Probably. Or the fact that I wasn't on.
I'm sure people missed me.
They did. They miss Raymond.
Nobody missed
Did you actually fire Raymond?
Yes.
No, I didn't. I fire him at least once a week when he's naughty. Yeah, it's fine.
I can add a new skill to my resume now.
What's that? Oh, plumber.
Yes, I installed a toilet, flange and everything.
And on that note, we'll be seeing you next week. No, I'm just playing. All right. Well,
Ian's corner.
Well, that's what
where
I
he
mean.
talked about
We're talking
installing
about
the
what Ray
toilet.
and I were talking about, AI and stuff like that. How many people would like actually
just reminding you, the audience has already
try-
listened to what you and Raymond talked
How
about.
many people would try and install a toilet from scratch? Like you've got the thing in that's.
I mean,
already
you just
there
put
in the
you
floor.
pick the other one up. You put the other one on the two bolts.
No, it doesn't. It's not that easy.
That's because you bought
gotta
a
put
four.
the-
That's because you
gotta
bought a
put the wax
400.
ring on.
It's because you
gotta
bought a
make sure it
$400
fits.
toilet.
No,
If
but
you'd bought the $100 toilet, you could have changed it in 10 minutes.
You know what the
G and I changed
You know what
the
the flange
toilet in the
is?
other room.
Right.
Neither one of us are plumbers.
Right, but you probably had a suitably fitted flange that was correctly installed in the first place.
Probably.
I had a builder's model home flange that was not installed properly.
Was it lifted?
Yes.
So
it
you
was-
had to cut the tile?
So you had a custom lift.
No, I had to replace the flange, and it was glued in,
Smart.
and I did it.
And you did it.
Yes.
All right. Well, Ian changed his toilet.
They're good toilets. Toto Drake. Shout out to Toto.
Shout out to Toto. And we're not in Kansas anymore. That is a show.
KTROX.
KTROX. No, we're gonna make Ray say the blessing since he hasn't been here to do it. Go for it.
Bye.
Say goodbye to his little friend. Oh no, that's Byron.
That's Byron's little friend. I don't know what.
We may or may I may or may not be on next week.
You still haven't.
Byron's
mentioned-
definitely
you still
not gonna be
haven't
on
mentioned
next
my
week.
Yeah.
T-shirt.
It's just only for the simple
That's
fact.
awesome. So Byron. So it maybe it's just the OG crowd for next week. Just
Yeah.
you and
No,
I.
no, maybe.
Yeah.
It depends on how my trip goes.
Yeah, they gotta. He's gotta. Yeah, that's why we're cutting early today. Ray's got a trip to
Hey,
Ohio.
Ray is
apparently.
tripping.
Yeah.
He's tripping. All right.
I have a graduation party to go to.
So the kill switch synopsis, there's nothing for you to worry about. There is no boogeyman. Nobody's touching your car. Go buy cars to your heart's content. And that's a wrap. We'll see you in a bit.